I think if you are scared of them, then they are already winning. They are already 1-0. I was not scared. I was just engaging when I see people are playing really cocky because they don't get punished because they are thinking, okay, like I'm not gonna get punished. So I think if you start already respecting, it's already the problem. And I think me myself individually, like I am not scared of them.
Today was the last match of Movistar KOI at MSI 2025. Those are words that I'm not happy to be saying out loud, unfortunately, and I know, Alvaro, those are not words you would have wanted to hear this morning, most likely. I can imagine today is a day of frustration, of disappointment. Could you start by just telling me what do you feel like happened against CFO today? What are your immediate feelings after this best of 5?
I think during MSI, I think we improved a lot. I will say how we play the game and how we view the game. And I think individually we have the level to compete to the best. But I think mentally we are right now not prepared. I think there is a lot of how I feel, but these feelings I still didn't see the series. I think we are really scared. We are not really decisive in what we are doing. And I think in this case, for example, in the last game, I think they played really well. They had a really good game plan. They did the late invade, they deny us on bot lane. And then later, I think they are also a strong team and a strong contender. But I will say it's mostly mentally. And I think we could have worked also even better. And yeah, so we couldn't have those doubts in the middle of the game.
Yeah. I mean, this question of the mental is something we heard in our interview with Yoya as well. He told us, especially in your very first match coming into the tournament, how he felt like he wasn't playing like himself, right? He was over-respecting, he was scared and everything. What exactly do you feel like led to this mentality at MSI? Because obviously you guys usually are a team that have a lot of confidence. You always come in blasting, right? These creative picks, the aggression and everything. And today it feels, and I mean this entire tournament, it feels we just didn't get to see that. So what is the cause in your opinion?
I think confidence is something that you cannot really work on it. I think it's something that comes or goes. I think also something important is how you use those things, because for example frustration and how you are feeling, it can be a double sword, because either you can use it in a good way or you can use it in a bad way. But for me, I will say it's mostly, I don't think we are, not really sure how to explain it, because for me, for example, individually, I don't have that block like to engage. I think, for example, during this MSI, I found many engages with Nautilus. I remember into BLG when we were behind, and I really like that from our team, because we are still looking forward, even if we are behind. But I think as a group, we are not looking for this place, and when we are already going behind, I think since, I mean, I could see maybe today, because it's the last day that we could play. If we get eliminated, we are going back home. I could see that maybe we had some regrets, and one objective that I had coming to today is I wanted to have no regrets, and individually I don't have. I could have, for example, about how I trained and how I prepared, but coming to today, I didn't have any regret individually.
Something as well about the way you guys played the match today. We saw a very large difference in how you drafted, especially in game 2. A lot of people saw you swap the plan around and you tried to go for a very, very aggressive comp in the early game to win lane, and we saw that it obviously didn't work out, right? Was that something that you did willingly to try and combat this lack of confidence as well, that you try to force yourself to play a goal?
I mean, coming to the games, it's mostly prepared the draft from the coaches. I don't really have any problem. I think, for example, the second draft, it was good, but in this sense, for example, when they do the play on bot lane and they get double kill, I think the game becomes way harder. Why I picked Karma, for example, in that time, I think it was a really strong bot lane duo, and we could get a lot of advantage from it. I was thinking to pick Rel, because as our team also works, I'm the kind of guy that likes to engage. But for example, I don't think I'm that unidimensional. I think I can play more things. But we didn't pick Rel because I think they could go Poppy, and we had Ambessa leasing, so it was hard. And if I went Nautilus, I think they could go Rel. So it was harder in that sense, and I think what we could have done is pick Poppy on 2. I mean, I even talked with Merced, or we could ban the Kalista, or no, we could ban the Lucian, leave the Kalista open, and then we could pick the Gates on me, because yeah, I think that was the 2 ways that we could fix it. But anyways, I don't think we lost because of the draft. Of course, later on when they are ahead and they can play from range with Bard ulti and we are immobile, it's a bit harder, but games shouldn't be like that. The game state we should be ahead, you know.
Yeah. I think in Game 4 especially, a lot of people highlighted how CFO slammed in the Aphelios trash and it completely neutralized the Kalista lane as well. Is this something that you guys expected from this match, or was it something that caught you off guard, because it really feels like it disrupted your entire game plan?
I mean, it's not exactly like the bot lane 2v2, because the bot lane is fine, but it's just basically they had a plan, they coordinate. I think something, for example, that I need to talk about the MSI, I think every team is doing something level 1 too. So we were really clear in our plan that we wanted to do something level 1, that's why we do go for the invade on top to get some information. But when they do the late invade and Pantheon starts on bot, it becomes really hard for us to actually get any control, because if we want to go bot fast and push, threats can come from behind and Pantheon can skip the camps and come level 2 and go on us. And if we just let the wave, you know, like we will end up losing, because Pai cannot match the Pantheon 1v1, so he needs to go into topside camps because he cannot really fight him on level 2. So we knew that from the start when that happened, it already happened in other games and everything, and we know that we were going to be behind, but we were still calm and we were still confident that we could, you know, like bounce it back. And yeah, I mean, that when that happens, like they were, I think, 8 or 9 CS ahead in lane, and they got Drake, which is really good for them, you know, when we have Kalista Renata, when we want to get the Drakes, but Pantheon is stronger, so yeah, we need to respect.
Yeah. The overwhelming narrative after this, as you might have heard, is that obviously people are already jumping to conclusion and calling EMEA the worst region in the world, because, I mean, both of our seeds got out in the first round of the lower bracket, so in a way it makes sense. But could you tell me as well, like, what do you believe, what level do you believe the EMEA region is at right now? Because we've heard from a lot of people how every region are bringing their own strategies and stuff. Do you believe that the region is actually that weak, or is it just maybe that it's a bit unlucky as well, or just the strategies didn't pan out, or stuff like that?
I mean, I think it's hard. I think it's like, of course, we finished 7 and 8, you know, like G2 and us, and I think, for example, also what shows here in officials, it's also different than, you know, like in screens and everything. But I think, anyways, yeah, like we should even put more effort and we should even like improve more as a region. But I think it's also like it's words that will, I'm not really sure how to explain that. It's just words that, you know, they will end up not meaning anything. I think we grew up as a team and we develop a lot, but there is still, you know, like we need to even develop even more. And I think also having this international experience, I think it also will be better for us, because we can come even more prepared for the next internationals. Like there is Esports World Cup now, there is going to be Worlds, and I think if everyone in Europe now pushes each other even harder, we can have a strong seed again. But I mean, it's sad, you know, that we cannot represent Europe, because yeah.
Do you believe the LCP to be on a comparable level to the LPL and LCK now? Because we saw CFO push T1 to 5 games. Obviously today they won against you as well, right? So
I think the top regions are close, I would say, because, for example, like into BLG, the 4th game we could have even won it, and then we could go to 5th game. I think BLG, for example, T1 today is gonna be a banger as well, and then I think, yeah, like you said, LCP, like they went to game 5 with T1, and you know they can still prove a lot in the tournament. Let's see into AL. But I think CFO is a strong team. GAN, for example, didn't make it out, but I mean, for me, I think that's also like really cool, because before it used to be only 2 regions. Like let's be honest, you know, it was LCK and LPL. But now I think every region is pushing. Even if today we finished 7 and 8, you know, but I think every region is pushing each other, and now even if the gap is still wide, I think it's getting closer.
Yeah. What do you feel is the thing that you guys need to work on the most? Because I mean, obviously, I think we saw a lot of different things that happened. Obviously, I mean, we saw Jojo unfortunately getting solo killed, for example. We saw, I think in some games some wrong lane assignments. Sometimes like if you were doing plays, you were hemorrhaging goal elsewhere as well. And I remember as well in game one, I was a bit puzzled by the fact, for example, that you lane swapped the Silver Alistar that was playing into Ezreal Leona, and also you lane swapped into Sion as well. So
yeah, I mean, for example, in that game, I mean, it was just two lane swaps so we could get the void grabs, and we then think that we could get punish on bot. And I think in that sense, it was still okay, because if we get void grabs, we could be strong on the side lane after. And since we killed Sion, I could have tempo and then defend bot, which is what happened. But of course, I think lane assignments, we can improve still a lot. Like, for example, this team, we study them and they rely a lot on how they wanted to swap. So we also, there is sometimes that, of course, the fans are not gonna know, you know, but sometimes you are doing swaps and you are preparing because you expect that the enemy is gonna swap. Or so, yeah, I think.
All right. I mean, what do you think you guys need to do now as well before summer? And I mean, do you still see some positives from this experience and how it's going to help your team grow and gain experience for the upcoming tournaments?
I think for sure there is positives. I mean, right now I'm going to be more negative, you know, because I just lost. But of course, I think I'm the kind of person that can see also the big picture and the good side from the story. I think, for example, we got a lot of international experience, which I think, for example, only Joya and I mean Jojo Pyun, I think he didn't go that many internationals. I think only Joya had it, and I think it also will get the we will be even more confident when we come here, and we will be even more comfortable. And I don't think it's still the problem. I think there is other issues, but for sure it's gonna be something positive. And I mean, I had a good experience in Canada. It was the first time I was leaving Europe in my life. So watching outside of my city and watching outside from Berlin, I think it's a good experience, because in Worlds I didn't have the opportunity because it was in Berlin. So I'm taking some good experiences as a team. I think, for example, now we will go back to Berlin, we will prepare Esports World Cup, and after we finish Esports World Cup, we will prepare for summer, and we will go with everything now.
Do you feel like this mentality problem that we talked about, how there was a lack of confidence as well, and being able to take initiative sometime as well, do you think this is something that is more widespread in the West in general? Because it feels like very often we hear about this mental block, especially against the Asian teams. We hear about how, especially some of the older players, they over time, after losing a lot to these teams, they start to develop a bit of almost trauma. It's a strong word, obviously, but do you believe in that?
I mean, I am not scared individually. I will give you my point of view because I don't know the rest, you know. But yeah. I mean, I think they're humans. I have seen how they do mistakes. I think if you are scared of them, then they are already winning, you know, they are already 1-0. I was not scared, I was just engaging when I see people are playing really cocky because they don't get punished, because, you know, they are thinking, okay, I'm not gonna get punished. So I think if you start already respecting, it's already the problem. And I think me, myself, individually, I am not scared of them. And of course, I think, for example, there is some people that look up, they look up to the people that now they are facing. For example, me, I don't have anyone that I look up to. Of course, I have respect because, for example, Kerry, I really enjoy how I really like seeing him play. But I don't look up to anyone because I am a competitor like them, and you know I wanna smash them and beat them the next time. So.
Yeah. All right, I'll let you go now as well. But is there anything you want to add and say to the Coisitos?
I mean, thanks to all the fans that are still supporting, even after the rough loss today. I mean, it sucks. It feels like shit. To us, it even feels more probably than you, because now we even need to go back to home, and we are losing a big opportunity that we could actually play here in the MSI, which is really cool. So for the people that are still supporting, thank you, and just keep looking for it, because I think some people might need it. But thanks for the support, and see you soon.
Awesome. Well, Alvaro, thank you so much for talking with us today. It's a tough scenario, obviously, but you will be, I'm sure, bouncing back very soon. You have some tournaments ahead of you as well, so I wish you the best of luck in those, and hopefully we get to talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much.